YC online fitness classes. My name's Donnie, and today we have the dynamic Vinyasa flow class with Candice. Candice has been training for 10 years and she's going to bring you an amazing, life-changing class. So let's welcome Candice!
Hi yogis, and welcome to your dynamic Vinyasa flow. So I'll be taking you through half an hour to 45 minutes of a back-bending, heart-opening sequence this afternoon or morning, whenever you're tapping into the session. I'll also provide Donnie with my playlist, so if you want to put that on, you can hit play, or if there's a playlist of your choosing, feel free to use that as well. So just a little bit of housekeeping. We've got props again today, blocks or books or boxes, whatever you've got on hand at home, a strap, which is actually my dressing gown robe tie because it's all I have at home, and then I've got an eye pillow, but if you have the sleeve of a jumper or anything else just to cover your eyes when we enter Shavasana. So starting up, we're going to lie down on our backs, but grabbing a block. Going to place the block along where you would imagine a bra strap to be, so along your shoulder blades, rolling down where it feels comfortable, and then just putting your arms out. They can either be straight out to the side or in a cactus arm shape, and then begin to close down your eyes. Start to draw your attention to the breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel the breath expand the chest and the belly. Hold it at the top and see if you can expand it just a little bit more. And then exhale, notice how the belly and the chest contracts as you let all the air escape from the body. Allow the breath to massage and make their way through the internal landscape. Continuing to breathe like that as we arrive on our mats. For this session, I welcome you to set your own intention, your own goal for the class. But if you can't think of one, today my intention is presence. Finding through this new world that we're stumbling our way through, finding myself more and more distracted by things that are going on around me. And when I'm able to practice presence, paying attention to the moment, being still, being aware, all that chaos, all that noise can disappear. So as you move through the poses today, through the asanas, bring some presence to each pose. Notice how you feel. Notice where your mind goes. And then bring it back to the now. Continuing to breathe like that. Beginning to engage with your Ujjayi breath. It's a slight constriction at the back of your throat. Makes a kind of Darth Vader sound, or the oceanic sound of the waves. Another 3 deep breaths. through the nose and out through the nose. On your next exhale, lift yourself up off the block and move the block and your other props just to the top of your mat so they're ready when we need them. And then coming into a tabletop position. Fingers are spread wide, shoulders stack on top of the wrists, hips stack on top of the knees, and then we, on the in-breath, drop the belly, lift the chest, gaze is the last to lift up, and then exhale, tucking the chin towards the chest, doming through the back of the body, and then inhale, moving like that, coming into cow, exhale back into cat, pushing up through the shoulder blades, drawing the pelvis towards the belly button. Inhale, just lubricating the spine here. Opening up through the body. Now I invite you to engage in some free movement, closing down the eyes. Start to feel into the body, maybe doing circles with the hips, maybe coming forward and feeling into those shoulders, feeling what feels good, what maybe feels a little bit sticky. And then we're going to flip the left hand so the fingers are facing towards your knees. This is quite strong, so this is perfect option as well. And just continuing in that cat-cow movement, warming up through the wrists. Switching the position of the hands so the left fingers face forward, the right fingers face back, and then moving through your cat-cow. And then flipping both of them, both hands towards your knees. This one's really strong, so listen to your body here. What is it telling you? You can rock back and forth, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground. Go around in circles. And then returning the hands to face forward. Grounding down through the left hand, pressing into the feet, and then raising the right hand up towards the sky. And then we're going to thread the needle under your left arm and landing the arm on the ground, right ear onto the ground. And then if this is comfortable for you, you can extend your left arm up towards the sky. If this is comfortable and you want more, you can bend the left elbow and place the left hand in the seam of your hips. And holding here. Opening up through the chest, up through the side body. And inhale, lift the arm back up, placing the left hand onto the mat and draw your right hand up towards the sky. And then exhale, landing the right hand down. And then inhale, lifting the left hand up towards the sky. We thread it under the right arm, through to the left, the right side. Again, you can stay here. You might like to extend that right hand up towards the sky. Maybe bend the right elbow and bring the right hand into the inner seam of the hip. Holding here and breathing. opening up through the chest, drawing your right shoulder back. And then on the inhale, lift the right hand back up towards the sky. Place the right hand on the ground. Lift the left hand up and return it back down onto the mat. Walking the hands out to the top edges of your mat. Going to start to fold the chest on towards the ground. You can bring your forehead to the mat, or if there's space in your chest, you can bring your chin. I'm going to leave my forehead for this session. You can feel into it a little bit, move into those shoulders. And then on the inhale, pressing back, drawing your toes together and your knees as wide as the mat, and drawing the hips down towards the heels, coming into your child's pose. Head comes to the earth, arms are still dynamic and switched on, fingers are spread wide, engaging through the arms. Breathing into your child's pose. Again, maybe some movement to the sides. Opening up through the back body. And then tuck the toes. Bring the knees so they're about hip distance apart. And lift your knees a couple of inches off the ground. And we're just going to hold here.
What's that one called?
Oh, it's just a tricky transition. So just holding here, core is on, draw the belly button to the spine, and then we lift the hips up into a downward facing dog. Here you might like some movement, so pedaling through the feet, dropping the left heel down towards the mat, bending the right knee, switching to the other side. Or you might like to just come into stillness. Hips are high, bending the knees. The point of downward facing dog is lengthening through the spine. It's not to bring your heels to the ground. And then begin to slowly walk your way up towards the front of the mat. We'll hold down here in a forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows and swing from side to side like a rag doll. And then interlacing the fingers behind your back and draw your fist over to the front of the mat. Opening up again through the shoulders and the chest. Might like to move again side to side.
That's a bit hard.
And then bringing the hands onto the ground. Place the palms of the hands on your shins and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, lifting all the way up to the sky. Palm meets palm above the head. Bring it down the center line. And returning to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Feet can be hip distance apart, or you can bring them together with the toes touching and the heels slightly apart. Whatever feels more comfortable in your pelvis. I'm a hips distance apart kind of girl. So just standing in Tadasana. Inhale, lift the hands up, palm meets palm above the head, and then folding, hinging at the hips. Into Uttanasana, your forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, your halfway lift, and then placing both hands on the floor, tuck your right heel so it's near your right buttocks, And then exhale, extend that back, lowering the right knee onto the ground, and coming up into a low lunge with cactus arms. So we're opening up through the chest. Breathe here.
With
Knees stacked on
cactus
top of
arms.
wrist.
Sorry, cactus arms.
Cactus arms.
Cool.
Like a cactus.
I've never heard of that one.
And then pressing down through the top of your right foot. And then exhale, folding forward into a half splits. You can have the hands on the floor if you like. You can grab your blocks if this feels more accessible to you. And then coming forward, planting both hands on the floor. Lift the right knee off the mat. That right leg is straight and strong. And stepping back into a plank. High plank pose. You can stay up on the toes or you can lower down onto the knees. Holding here for a couple more breaths. And then we'll all lower down onto our knees. And then slowly with control, keeping the elbows tight towards the ribs, lowering down onto the mat. Belly on the mat, chin on the mat. Spread your hands wide, so they're wider than the mat and then they've got cupcake shapes. And then inhale, lifting up into a striking cobra. Your chin is the last to lift. Then we're going to lower the right shoulder down towards the left side of the mat. Inhale, come back up. Exhale down to the other side. Inhale back up. Exhale. Inhale up. And then exhale. Coming back up. Lowering all the way down. Palms beside your chest. Pressing up into a tabletop position. Tucking the toes and extending back into a downward facing dog. Holding here. Bending through the knees if you need. Lifting the hips up and back. And then inhale, lift the right foot up towards the sky. And bring it forward and place it between the hands. You might have to scooch your foot up. And then inhale back into our cactus arms. Pressing down through that front foot, down through the back foot. Maybe lowering a little bit further into the groin. And then exhale, folding forward into your half splits. Toes draw up towards the shin. And then coming forward, placing the palms down. Lift the left knee up to your runner's lunge, collarbone shine forward, and then exhale, step the left foot up to meet the right, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, and then inhale, rising up into Tadasana. Palms through the center line, hands beside the hips. Take off my jumper because it's getting a little warm. And we're going to do that on the other side. So your arms reach up. Folding forward at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward and bring the left foot heel towards the left buttocks. And extend that left leg back. Touching the knee down. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, fold forward into half splits. Inhale, come forward, plant the hands down. Untuck or tuck the back toes, lift the left knee off the ground. And then lifting the right foot and extend it into a plank pose. Gonna hold it here for another 2 breaths. And then lowering the knees onto the ground, untuck the toes, and again lowering in a straight line, your torso onto the mat. Keeping your hands beside your chest, Press the tops of the feet into the mat, your pelvis into the mat, and then begin to lift yourself up into a baby cobra. Elbows stay tight into the body. Breathing. And then exhale, lower down. And then inhale, come back up. This time your hands might come off the ground. Holding here. Remembering to breathe. And then exhale, lower down. And then tucking the toes, pressing into the mat. We're going to come up into a downward facing dog through a plank. So pressing up, and then hips come up and back. Taking a couple of breaths here, landing in your dog. Fingers remain spreading wide. Hips up towards the sky. Then inhale, lift the left foot up towards the sky, and then bring the foot and place it between the hands. Right knee on the ground. Back up into our cactus arms. Leaning into it, leaning into that lunge. And then exhale, folding forward. Coming back, planting the hands at the front of the mat. Tucking the toes, lifting the right knee. Runner's lunge, collarbone shine forward. And then exhale. Right foot meets left foot. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, come all the way up. We're going to bow forward again. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, just stepping back into your downward facing dog here. I'm going to switch up the flow. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it to the nose. Inhale, back up towards the sky. Exhale to the right elbow. Inhale back. Exhale to the left elbow. Inhale back. And then stepping the right foot in between the hands. Lowering the left knee on the ground and coming back up into that cactus shape. From cactus, we're going to lean forward, bring the hands to meet in heart center, and then begin to twist to the right side, hooking your left arm on your right knee. We're going to low lunge twist, holding here. Tuck the left toes. Draw the knee up towards the sky, the left leg is fully engaged. Holding your twist. And then coming up, you're going to bring your right hand onto your back leg and reaching your left arm and hand back towards the back of the room into a revolve, reverse twist. And then unwinding, coming into your warrior two. You might like to adjust your stance here, so you might have your front heel intercepting the middle of the arch of your back foot. We're just going to flip the palms so they're facing up, opening through that chest. And then on the inhale, straighten through the right leg. Bring the palms to meet palm. And exhale back out. Inhale straight up. Exhale back out. One more time. And landing down in your warrior two. Begin to straighten through that right foot. Bring the toes up towards your shin. And bringing your right hand up towards the sky as you come into a reverse triangle. Then lowering the right foot onto the ground, step your left foot in slightly. Bring your left hand to your hip and roll that hip in just slightly. Bring the arms out to the side Start to draw your right hand forward, like someone's pulling on your hand. Again. And then on the exhale, start to lower down into a Trikonasana. Your right hand on the inside of your right shin, or maybe it's a little bit higher. You're stretching up towards the top of the ceiling, and you're also stretching down, so you've got the same sort of lengthening on both sides. Just holding here, breathing. Then bringing your left hand onto your left hip. Gaze goes down to in front of your right foot. You're going to bend into the right knee and place your right hand, it can be on the ground or maybe a block. And then begin to lift your left leg up towards the sky. Hopefully with a bit more balance than me. And then extending your left arm up towards the sky. Engage that left leg. You can bend into the right knee a little bit if that gives you a bit more stability. And then bending into the right foot, come back down into your Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Extending out, inhale, flip the front hand. Lift the right arm up towards the sky. The left hand can go onto your leg, or maybe it reaches around behind you. And then exhale, windmilling the hands down onto the ground. Coming into your runner's lunge. And then stepping back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment for rest, a moment to connect back to your breath. And inhale through the nose, and then parting the lips, stick your tongue out as you do lion's breath. Another one like that, inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. And grounding down through the right foot. Extend the left leg up towards the sky. Then bring it in towards the nose. Inhale, extend back up. Exhale over towards the left knee, towards the left elbow. Inhale, extend back up. Then across the body to the right elbow. Inhale, extend back up. And then bring the foot to land between the hands. Drop the right knee onto the ground. And then coming up into our cactus arms, opening up. And then coming forward at 45-degree angle, draw the palm to meet palm at the chest and twisting towards the left. Hook the right arm over the left knee. Gaze can be up towards the ceiling, can just be straight ahead. Whatever feels comfortable in your neck. And then tucking the back toes. Lifting the right knee off the ground. That right leg is straight and strong. Imagine that you're drawing the back of the knee up towards the sky. And then begin to come up, placing your left arm on your right leg, bringing your right arm up to a revolved standing twist. And then we're going to spiral down to a downward facing dog. I'm just going to swap sides so you can see what I'm doing. So adjust the stances you need. You've got a wide stance. Toes can be at an angle in towards the top of the mat. And flipping the hands. And then inhale up towards the top of the sky. Exhale back down. Inhale up. Exhale, bending back into that knee. One more time, straightening through the left leg. And exhale back down. And straightening through that left leg. Bring the toes up to off the ground and towards the shin. Lift the left arm up towards the sky. Coming into a reverse Trikonasana. And planting the left foot onto the ground. Step your right foot in a little bit, it gives you a little bit more space. Hands on the hips. Roll that right hip in slightly. Draw the left arm up, the right arm up. Imagine someone's pulling your left arm forward and then forward again. And then begin to lower yourself down into a Trikonasana triangle pose. The left leg is straight. Drawing the arm up, the top arm up towards the sky, your left arm towards the ground. Got equal lengthening on both sides. Just breathing into it. Then bring the right hand onto the hip. The gaze comes down in front of the mat, in front of your left foot, and then begin to bend into that left knee. Draw the left hand onto the ground and drag and lift your right foot up into the sky. Right leg is on. Toes draw towards the chin. Might like to lift that right hand up towards the sky. And then exhale, bending into that left knee. Begin to lower the right foot back, coming back into your warrior two. Flip the left palm. Bring your left arm up towards the sky. Reverse the warrior. And then windmilling the hands back down onto the ground. Stepping back into a downward facing dog. Taking a moment to breathe. We're going to do those line breaths again. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and let it all out. Two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then drop the knees onto the ground. Come down into your wide-legged child's pose, so knees are the width of the mat, toes touch, and extend down onto the mat, forehead onto the mat. And then now coming forward and lowering all the way onto your belly from a low plank. So keeping the elbows in towards the side as we come all the way down. And just put one palm on the ground and then your left palm on top. And then place your forehead on your palms. Allow yourself a moment of breath. Now we're going to work into our locust pose sequences. So strengthening the back body. We'll start from the more basic versions to begin with, and you can stay with those or you can come with me as we progress through the sequence. So placing your forehead on the ground, tops of the feet press into the ground, the pelvis press into the ground, and the palms of the hands press into the ground. And then on the inhale, lift up, lifting through the chest, lifting through the hands, stretching the hands towards the back of the mat, lifting through the back of the heart, gaze goes to the front of the mat, breathing, Another inhale. Hold for the exhale. And then lower all the way down. Put your right ear onto the mat, turn your head, flip the palms so the palms are facing up. Take a moment. And then bringing the forehead to the mat again, hands face down. And then again on the inhale, begin to lift the head, the back of the heart, the hands, and also the feet this time. Toes are switched on. Or a bit of a floint, a mix between a flex and a point. Breathing, lift through the back of the heart. See if you can come up a little bit higher. Inhale. Hold for the exhale. And then lowering down and put your left ear onto the mat. Flipping the palms back up. Maybe close down your eyes. Allow that to marinate. And then bringing the forehead back onto the mat. Flipping the palms so they're facing down. This time you can interlace your fingers behind your back. If this feels uncomfortable for you, feel free to take either option 1 or 2. Just pressing into the feet again, pressing into the pelvis, and then on the inhale, we're extending those arms back, reaching through the fist, lifting through the back of the heart, gazes forward. We're breathing. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Hold for the exhale. And then lower down. Right ear onto the mat. Now we're moving into bow pose next. We'll do a preparation for it first before we try the full expression. So just bending the knees, drawing the feet up towards the sky at a 90-degree angle. Flex the toes, forehead onto the mat, then reaching your arms back so your palms are facing one another, thumbs are down. And then inhale, lift the legs, lift the back of the body, lift the arms. Energetically reaching for those feet, reaching for the ankles. Try and lift them together. It's very difficult.
It looks very difficult.
And then exhale, lowering down. Left arm onto, or left ear onto the ground. Breathing.
Do you still breathe in the nose and out the nose?
Still in the nose and out the nose.
Okay.
If you can.
What was that Darth Vader breathing you were talking about?
Ujjayi?
Yeah.
It's like the yogic breath. So it's kind of like you've got a constriction at the back of the throat, and it sounds a bit like an ocean or Darth Vader, and it's just meant to, it enables you to breathe deeper, more consciously.
And that's in the nose, out the nose also? So you never breathe out the mouth?
Unless you're doing, so what I was doing in downward facing dog was lion's breath, and that's when you're expressing the build-up of energy, so you're trying to get rid of a lot of it.
And that's the only time it's
when you're trying to express or get rid of something, then you do it out through the mouth, because you actually lose a lot of energy through the mouth, whereas it's more contained in and out of the nose.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll try both. Again, going back to any one of those versions that you feel more comfortable with. The first one is a perfectly beautiful option that allows you to build strength through the lower back. Bending the knees, drawing the heels up towards the sky in a 90-degree angle. Reach the hands back, grab the ankles or the feet, flexing the feet. And then on the inhale, chest lifts, legs lift, coming up into the full bow. While your thighs lift up towards the roof, your shins reach back, drawing your shoulders back, gazes forward, and then lowering down. Bringing the hands underneath the chest, pressing up into a tabletop, tucking the toes and coming up into your downward facing dog. And then we're going to bring the right knee so it lands between the hands. Bring the left knee behind and then come up and roll back into a seat. So we're just in Dandasana, staff pose. Feet are active, drawing the toes towards the shins. Press the hands into the mat beside your hips. And a straight spine. Now make sure you have your strap or robe handy. And then bringing your right knee into your chest, put your foot and place it just on the inside of your left thigh. Foot is on the ground, and then bring your right hand behind you. You can hug your right knee, or you could use your cactus arms to give yourself a little bit more twist. I'm just going to hug my right knee, that feels better in my body today. And you're just drawing the gaze over your right shoulder. And then coming towards the front of the mat again, lift your right foot and place it over your left thigh. This might be enough for you. If you're feeling it in your hips and your pelvis, you could also get a block and sit up on the block. That gives you a bit more space. Otherwise, coming with me and drawing your left foot beside your right hip, and then bringing your right knee so it's stacked on top of your left knee. This is cow facing pose. Apparently it's meant to look like a cow. It doesn't really.
Wasn't there a cow handstands? Wasn't that cow?
But this is cow facing, so it's got so it's meant to look like the face of a cow. Yeah. So then putting your right arm up, out with your thumb up. Grab your strap if you need, and you're going to bend the elbow and bring it down the middle of your back. Then extend your left arm out, thumb is facing down. Bend that elbow, and you can either grab the straps if you don't have the space to grab the hands, or you can grab the hands. And we're just opening up more through the chest here. Breathing. Now in a moment of pause, moment of presence. And then we'll release. Unwind the legs, coming back into your Dandasana, your staff pose. Toes draw towards the shins. And then bend the left knee, bring the foot inside your right thigh. Hugging your left knee with your right arm. Place your left hand behind you and then twist. Keeping the toes drawn up towards the shin. Unwind. Draw the left foot over the right thigh. Bring the right foot next to the left hip, and then we're moving the left leg over the top so the knees are stacked or as close to as they can be. And this time with your left hand extended, grab your strap, thumb towards the sky, and then bend the arm. Extend your right hand out, thumb goes towards the ground, And then bring and bend that elbow, reaching for the hands or grabbing the strap. If you don't have a strap, you can just grab your shirt. Gaze is forward, chin is lifted. Pausing, breathing. And then letting go, releasing everything down. Again, unwinding back into our Dandasana staff pose. Spine is straight, extending through the top of the head. And then we're going to walk the hands forward and come into a Paschimottanasana, a forward fold. Could just be here. Could fold forward a little bit more. Maybe you grab the feet, maybe you don't. It's going to balance out a lot of that back bending and heart opening with a forward fold. Allowing yourself to fully relax into it, fully be present, fully accepting where you are today. Maybe close down the eyes. And then begin to walk yourself back up. Bend the knees and scoot yourself forward. Going to come down onto our backs now. So hands, palm meets palm in between your knees, and then begin to lower down. Count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Hold there for a moment. And then exhale all the way down into your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Draw your chin up to your knees. Give yourself a big squeeze, a big hug. And we're going to come into an inversion as we wind down the practice heading towards Shavasana. So you have a couple of options here. If shoulder stand isn't in your practice, then I recommend either getting a block, or you can just without a block as well, but we're putting the legs up towards the sky in Viparita Karani. So the block can go under your sacrum. You lift the legs up to the sky, also known as legs up the war pose. If you have a wall handy, you could also use that. Otherwise, if you're coming up into shoulder stand, place the hands down beside the feet, draw the knees into the chest, and then lift the knees up towards your forehead. Bring the arms in closer to the body, and then draw the hands onto the sacrum. Elbows might move in a little bit further under the body, and then we slowly extend the legs. Might move your hands up the spine, up the back, and coming into our shoulder stand. Float the toes. Don't move the neck. Your gaze is up towards the sky. And we're here for 10 breaths. Allowing the blood to run in the opposite direction than what it's used to. Allowing moments of stillness in a position we're not used to being in. Another 3 breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. The next exhale, we're going to come into Halasana plow pose. So your legs can go over your head. They're either straight, with the feet landing on the ground, or you can just have them on your forehead with them hovering a little bit. If they're straight on the ground, it's a really great hamstring stretch, and it also stretches up through the neck. So you can clasp the hands behind you, driving them into the mat as you come up further into your plow. We're here for a few breaths. And then start to release the hands, place the palms onto the mat, and then roll down with bent knees, keeping everything tight into the body, feet on the floor. And then to counter that pose, we're going to place the hands, palms facing down, under the buttocks. Draw the elbows into the body and then extend both legs out straight. Coming into fish pose, lift the chest, pressing it into the ground with the elbows. Lift the chest as high as you can, and then extend the head back with the top of the head landing on the ground. Holding here. Opening up through the front body. And then lifting back up and releasing back down. Draw both knees into the chest. Grab the sides of the feet and coming into a happy baby. Maybe you move around a little bit, extending one leg, extending another. And then bring both knees into the chest. Extend the left leg out and long. Draw the right knee across the body into a supine twist. Right hand goes out towards the right side. Gaze can be either towards the sky or out to the right, just whatever suits and is comfortable for your neck. Close down the eyes. And then come back into center. Draw the left knee in, extend the right leg out. And then draw the left knee over the body. Get rid of any props that are in the way. Left arm is out towards the left. Gaze to the sky or to the left. Breathing. Then bringing everything up towards the center. One last big squeeze in. And then extend everything out. Your feet are mat distance apart. You can either have your hands out towards the side with the palms facing up to the sky, or if you feel like being more present to your body, you can put your left hand on your chest, either your right hand on top of your left, or your right hand on your body, on your belly. And we'll come down into Shavasana, so grabbing your eye pillow or whatever you have handy, placing that over your eyes. If you've got the playlist going, skip to the last song. Then I'll just get you to tense everything in your body, drawing everything, squishing the face, tensing every muscle, and then we'll release and relax into your Shavasana. Allow yourself to marinate in the practice we've just performed. And allow yourself to be present in this final moment of stillness. Begin to draw your attention to the breath. Notice how it comes in through the nose, out through the nose. It expands the chest and the belly. Begin to bring some movement through the toes and the fingers. As you draw yourself back from your Shavasana. Extend the right hand up towards the top of your mat, the left hand up towards the top of your mat. Stretch. And then rolling onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow. Coming into the fetal position. And then slowly, as you're ready, coming up into a seated posture. If you have time and you want to keep in your Shavasana, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, joining me, palm meets palm, center of the chest. Bringing the prayer up towards your forehead. And all together we say Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, yogis. Thanks for spending the last hour with me. See you next time. Bye.